Hey FlossTube, it's Sunday, March 19th. I always have to think about the date. I'm Annette's Acre. It's been about a month, so it's time for an update. I always watch my last video a day or two before I'm going to make a new one, so I can see what I showed and what progress I showed, so then I know if I need to re-show something or if I can just skip it because I didn't do anything. But it's also fun to hear when I say, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. When you see it again, it'll be like this. Yeah. So, yeah. So, my plans this time didn't quite work out the way I planned, but that's okay. We got a lot done. The one thing, though, that I did say that I was going to do, that I actually did do, is finish Plum Street Samplers 12 Days of Christmas. And not only is it finished, it's framed. Let's see. Here we go. So there it is, all done, framed, ready to go on the wall. I'm so glad this is done. For some reason, from the beginning, I always thought of this as a small project or medium-sized project, and that it won't take me long to finish, a couple weeks. Yeah, it's not a small project in any way, shape, or form. But it is done. I love it. I will put the details of fabric and what floss colors I used in the notes. So, but otherwise it's pretty much as charted. I didn't make any intentional changes to anything, but I love it. And so this is the fourth or fifth finish in my Year of Whips plan. So I love it. Very happy with it. Very happy with it. Otherwise, that's the only finish I had. I didn't finish anything else. So I just continued working on some things. So I've got the whips from the last month to show, just a tiny bit of stash. And then I've pulled out some of my finished pieces off the wall to show, and there's a theme, so we'll see. I figure if I just pull 4 or 5 down for every video, then eventually you'll see them all. First thing that I worked on was the Ship's Manor Beautiful Sea Sal, and I can say that I am caught up. That's right. This is what caught up looks like. And in fact, I'm a little bit ahead because I got one extra little wave over here. Getting ready to come down to the corner with the next part. But yeah, all caught up. This uses the Ship's Manor threads. The fabric is a little bluer than what you're seeing. The fabric is a solo dye from Needle Arts Emporium. The lady, the Silks for You lady, Miss Jo. But I'm all caught up, very happy. And I'm even a week ahead. Yeah, the next part doesn't come out till next Friday. Caught up. Yeah, now in my last video I said that I was going to be caught up on the lakeside under the sea sow. Yeah, I didn't touch it. So I'm still not quite finished with February, just backstitching left to do in the fish and the shark. March was more fish, and then Kate from Lakeside Needlecraft and her email program evidently had a bit of a misunderstanding, and she sent April's April's portion out just this week. So I now have 6 weeks to get caught up through the end of April, and I'm halfway, so should be good. Should be able to do that. Should. We'll see. The other thing that I worked on a bit is Ink Circles Tapestry. This is on 30 count platinum Murano, best fabric ever. And I made it to the other corner. So I essentially finished pages 2 and 3. And have worked over now to this upper left corner. So now I just need to work my way down and finish off page 1. So Again, platinum Murano, all the called for fibers. So that one's, now that Under the Sea, or Ship's Manor is caught up, I'll end up going back and forth between basically Tapestry and Under the Sea in California. These are all my California projects. I also may have started something new in California. Maybe. This is from Brooks Books. This is her Princess Couture series that she's doing this year. This is Snow White, which is the second one in the series. And here is the start of Snow White. This is on 28 count lamb's wool Jobelin, using all the called for stuff. And you can see that's the bottom left corner of her dress and the edge of the cloak right here. So I'm trying out the diagonal, which is working really well on this. But yeah, I love it. The empty spots are for beads, which I won't do until the end. So I have everything for Cinderella and for Belle as well. So when Snow White is done, they're not that big. I mean, it's a 9 by 13, is it 13 by 18 piece of fabric. So they're not that huge. The other thing I started, because I always have to have, a baby project going. It's just for when I have, 10 or 15 minutes, either in the morning or maybe at lunchtime. Or on the plane, which I've actually stitched on the plane on this guy. So this is Mill Hill Seagull. And here's where we are. Here's where we are, Mr. Seagull. So all the dock post pieces are done, and so I'm working on the water, and then I'll go up and add the seagull. But yeah, this one's traveling back and forth on the plane with me, and I'll do 10 or 15 minutes. I'm trying really hard not to just pick it up and finish it in a day, because I don't want to finish it offhand. So I'm saving it for those little bitty chunks of time when I've got something. So those were all in California, or to and from California. Here in Arizona, though, I've only been working on one project since we last chatted. Now, this pretty much, I won't say it's unheard of for me, but it's pretty rare for me to find a project that I'm sticking with, weekend after weekend after weekend. And it's not like I'm only getting a couple hours in a weekend to work on it. I'm getting good, solid time, but I can't seem to put this down. Now, the interesting thing, this was not a new start. I started this, well, let's just say that the last picture that I had available, the last whip picture that I had on my website was from 2009. So it was probably started in 2009, sometime in 2009. But it's The Fortunate Traveler, TW Design Works. So what I had done, and what the whip picture actually shows, is essentially the border on the first page. So this is the upper left page. The border is complete, with the exception of beads and just the tiniest bit of backstitch on those flowers, which are those little L-shaped colors. Those will turn into flowers. I obviously did the first word and some of the inner border. Well, since I picked it up, gotten a little more done. Take it back. This is the entire left border. So this is page 1, page 4, which is the center page, and I did the U in there because it was just so tempting as I was going down the border. And then the bottom left, page 7, and then what I'm working on now is the center, which is page 8. Once I finish the border down here, the border will be half complete. Will be half. All the stitching on half of the border will be complete. So this is on 28 count cashel in ivory or cream. Probably cream. It's probably cream cachet. But yeah, this is essentially what I've been doing on now. The fun thing about it is that I've done some of the back stitching in the border so far, but the green, I mean, it's Teresa Wentzler, right? So you know there's going to be blends and fractionals. Well, there haven't been any fractionals yet. It's all whole stitches. But this border is actually only 4 blended needles of green. There are no fractionals. The only back stitching is that grid in the background and then around the outer borders, which again are just 2 gold blends, right? So for Teresa, not bad, not overly complex, which is part of the reason I think I'm just continuing, because it goes pretty quickly as I'm working on it. So this has caught my attention. I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to keep working on it as long as it has caught my attention. But yeah, half the border. This is the box where Stretch goes in this box. This is Stretch's box. This is the dragon scene up at the top. See? The dragon scene up at the top, and then the Stretch at the bottom. All the words are over 1. Which is fine. I'm good with that. So yeah, not bad. About 3-4 weekends of work. I can usually get about a page of border done in a weekend. This weekend I'll finish off that. I've only got 2 more colors in this last swag to do, and then I'll probably go back and start back stitching the rest of the border in the background. So that's where I'm at. Little bit, just a few things of stash, and then I'll show you some of my other older finished projects. So I got my monthly So Much to Love bag, which is ladybugs, including a nice wooden minder. Fortunate Traveler is now living in this box. I am working on converting, because obviously it's my kit. When I started it was 2009, so the floss is all on bobbins still. So as I use each color, I'm putting it on tags. I'm doing a tag. So these are actually just the blends. I create a tag for each blend. You can see that's the blend with the symbol, and then the color, and then the floss that make up the blend. You can see. So that's how that works. Just makes it really easy to grab. And then the other thing that I've started using that I recently purchased that has been a godsend in this is one of these needle organizers. So these are, again, the symbols that are in the border. And you can see where I've got needles either partial or fully, or I've run out of colors, right? For those blends, and this has been an amazing thing to use. And that, I think that's part of the reason that I'm sticking with it so much, is because between the needle organizer and having the blends on the tags, I don't have to mess with the bobbins. It just makes it all very easy to just pick it up and go. I'm also working on a Q-snap so that I can hold the pattern right next to my where I'm stitching. Makes it terribly convenient. And then marking it off with one of my gel. This is what they call a dry highlighter. It's kind of a gelish thing. So boom, 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 off we go. So anyway, So Much to Love bag. I also purchased another one. There's nothing in this project bag yet, but I couldn't resist. I mean, come on. It's my boys. So, got that one. I just purchased my first Mama Joan bag. It's got skeletons. It's so cute. And hers is one that's got the clear vinyl, which I really like. This is holding a new project, a project to be, Autumnal Abstract by Lennart. One of my very good friends recently finished it, and she was kind enough to send the pattern to live in Arizona. So I now have the chart. And when I went to Needle in a Haystack a couple weeks ago, I bought a piece of fabric that I think will actually work for this. It's Legacy Linen coconut cream, 30 count coconut cream. So yeah, so this is all new. Mama Joan and the chart and the fabric from Needle in a Haystack. So yes, my Needle in a Haystack visit, I got to meet up with Becky, the obsessed stitcher. She was kind enough to organize. I met her, I met Madelyn and Michelle, who are both Instagram folks. And I also met Olivia B from FlossTube, and they couldn't have been nicer. The ladies were just wonderful. We had a great time just basically looking around the shop and helping each other and sharing off whips, and it was just Mike was with me, and so we didn't have any music playing in the background, but the shop is kind of small to bring the guitar and the amp, but so we shopped and chatted and had a great time, and then we went to lunch at this wonderful little French restaurant in Alameda that was amazingly tasty. But it was just a great day. I didn't buy all that much. I bought that piece of Legacy Linen. I bought another piece of fabric for my bell, Princess Couture. So you'll see that when I do that, get that started. And then I bought some threads that I needed for those designs. And I found this Brenda Key Sampler Company, the Sailor's Wife Sampler. This was in the clearance bucket, so I picked it up because it's, I don't know, it was just said, hey, take me home. So I said, okay. Who am I to argue with a chart that's lonely in the clearance bucket? So yeah, Sampler Company. I like it. That's all I got at Needle in a Haystack. The only other stash I have, I also recently got this guy, which I'm sure is going to be oh so surprising given the subject matter. It's Joan Elliott penguin, Rub-a-Dub penguins. So I added that recently because it's penguins. Now, Nashville Needle Market was, of course, earlier this month, and I did do a couple of pre-orders with my favorite online needlework store, Needlecraft Corner. I didn't find that much that was really appealing to me in the pre-orders that were shown ahead of market, so things that I could find online ahead of market. So I only got a couple of things. Now, since then, what's come out of market, there might be something else. Nothing else is really jumping up and down saying buy me now, so I probably won't get anything else for right now, but these two were must-haves. The first is the Dragons of Sumatra by Ink Circles, which I know you've seen in other FlossTube. I'm really thinking, instead of doing it actually all one color, is doing the dragons in different colors, because I have a slew of threads, hand-dyed threads, and I'm thinking it would be fun to do some of these inner motifs in those different colors and then keep the outside in either a black or navy, something that complements as a frame. So just some thoughts. We'll see if and when. And then the other thing that I got was a Glendon Place Butterfly Bliss kit. This is a kit. It's got Sullivan's floss, which is floss, whatever. And some Picture This Plus fabric. So it's a full kit, and it was limited. What I had seen, it said it was limited edition. Whether it actually is or not, I don't know, but I got it. Whatever. So this was it. So those are the only two things that I got from Nashville. And that's pretty much everything that's come in. I bought some other fabric, just plain fabric, just so I have it on hand, but this year I'm not buying nearly as much. It's just I have so much to do, and I'm really enjoying working on the pieces that I already have, so I don't need anything else right now, and Lord knows I got a pile of other stuff to do. Okay, so since I didn't have a whole lot, I did pull some pieces off the wall to show you. And I pulled all my Teresa Wenslers off the wall. Now, before you think, oh my God, it's going to be an hour, I don't have that many. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 here. There is an 8th one that's finished in the house, but it's in my daughter's room, and I don't feel like going in there and trying to navigate to where she's got it hung on the wall. Another time. We'll say that for another time. So the first one, these are older. Oh my gosh, she's so dusty. Arizona. That's what happens. I'm in Arizona. I think this is Spring Celebration. It was one of the magazine designs with the little horse and the bunny. But it's still a Teresa, so there's still a lot of backstitching. There's still a lot of blends, you know. But it's cute. I really like it. This was finished for me by my grandmother many, many years ago. So, yeah. This one is Futurecast. This is a freebie on Teresa's site. We had a Teresa Wensler bulletin board get together in Las Vegas in, oh my gosh, early 2000s. And Teresa did this pattern, and it came out about the time of the get together. And in the pattern, it talks about how to change floss colors, essentially. This design, you basically choose a single over-dyed floss, and then you build out the rest of your colors with what's in that floss. So one of the things that we did during the get-together was we went to Stitcher's Paradise in Las Vegas, which has a huge wall of fibers. It's wonderful. And everybody picked an over-dyed floss, and we worked, Teresa worked with all of us to build out the complementary DMC so that we could stitch this piece. And so mine, I don't remember the name of the floss that I used. I want to say it was Needle Necessities. It was a Needle Necessities floss, and it has some orange and pink and lavender in it. You can see it pretty good right there. It's orange, pinks, and lavenders. And then I pulled out the purples for the dragon itself, and then used kind of this gold, grayish gold for his accents. So, but this chart is a freebie on Teresa's site, the TW Design Works, and I'll put a link in the notes. So those are the only soft finishes. So these are everything else is framed. So this is Legends of the Dragons. It is Karen Weaver, Jennifer Aikman Smith, and then Teresa did Wisdom. This is 3 dragons. This is a puffy finish. I may actually take it and have it redone as a stretched, because I'm not overly... The more I look at this, the more I'm not happy with the puffiness of the finish. But anyway, so this again was done years ago and finished. I also have the chart for Legend of the Spellcasters. I just haven't started it. The difference here is I actually used, again, a Needle Necessities floss for the border. I didn't stitch the border as it was designed, so I used a different floss. But it works out real well, and it ties everything together. I love this pattern. I'm sad that none of the designers are designing anymore. Okay, so the other one, that was an early TW finish. The other early TW finish that I have is this is Heart Sampler. I did this in 2001. I used just floss from my stash. I didn't use what was called for. I just pulled colors of, that I liked, and that's what I used. And we did the cut work and hardanger and all that stuff. So it came out really nice. I like it. Okay. Next one, I'm getting bigger, as you can tell. Tropical Dream. This was Tropical Dream Sampler. This is actually as charted. Everything as charted. 2005. Look. 2005. So, this was really fast, actually. Lots of specialty stitches, lots of fun things to do. Everything from over one. This flower band is all done over one. But yeah, this is good. And the next two are my favorite pieces that hang in my house. This is Tea-Scene. Again, Teresa Tea-Scene. With the heart hanger. Very detailed, very meticulous. I'll never forget when I was actually working on the tea part, I showed it to my husband, and he's like, oh, it's an elephant. No, it's a teapot, but that's okay. It's a very floral elephant. But, yeah, this was the first time that I had done, like, buttonhole stitch, and holy cow. This is in a magazine, but it was also released as a standalone design. And I remember, I was working on this when I was doing 10-hour rotations, and I remember one of these borders, this was 10 hours of work, just for this one border, start to finish, backstitch and everything. So, yep, Tea-Scene. And then my last piece, that is my favorite of all, Egyptian sampler. This was first released as a kit only. It wasn't released as a leaflet, and this is the kit. I was not going to wait for the leaflet, so I stitched the kit, and with the Monaco fabric, which is great for over one, and there's a ton of over one in this. But yeah, this is my absolute favorite. And the frame, I knew as soon as I saw the frame exactly how I wanted it done. I love it. It's my favorite. So, that's it. Alright, so those are all, except one, of my TW finishes that I have here in the house. Oh, that's it. That's all I got. Not a lot of whips. So, I will see you in a month or so. I've got Mania plans well underway. I am doing the 15 starts in 15 days this year. I've already got the starts figured out and started working through order. So I'll share that with you next time, and we'll see how long my love affair with Fortunate Traveler continues. But other than that, have a great day, stitch all the things, and see you soon. Bye.